guys, welcome back into Buster's Corner. We're doing Tom Hogue's Motec Update Next Gen 2023 Season 1 Version 4. I have the chat window open. I know there's a delay in the broadcast of this. We're just messaging up here, but we'll see if we can fill some questions if they do come up. Hopefully this shouldn't really exceed 30 minutes. I don't want to overrun your lunch break at work. Okay, so this is so cool. Tom's done a great, fantastic job again on his Motec package for us, which is just improving our skills and building technique by leaps and bounds. There's still so much up in the I don't know, I'm still a hack at this, but Tom's trying to make it a lot easier on all of us type of workbook out. Oh, look, I misspelled worksheet. See, my keyboard's on my side, on my left over here, and I don't really get everything right. Ain't that funny? Okay, driver worksheet. We're gonna look at that. Steering angle versus lateral G, which is awesome. Where do you see that? Dynamic COG worksheet, phenomenal. I just got playing with that this morning. I got some good examples to you guys on what you're actually gonna do with that. So let's get started this. Let's do the live screen. Okay. Let me pull up the Motec now. If you don't have Motec installed yet, it's in our Discord channel. The links are down below to the Discord channel. Let me just do this real quick here. Discord channel, you're going to go up to Motec install. And at the top of the page, you will see start here. So start here. That's the install and gets you going. There we talk about the worksheet, slip and spin stuff that Tom did. We talked about this is some entry level stuff. I think I had a guy on a voice with me in the channel, and we talked about some basic Motec stuff. There's how to install the MU. Here's a link to all Tom's workbooks and Tom's GitHub. What do they call this thing? Yeah, GitHub page where he's got all of his overlays and all Tom's stuff that Tom engineers and does is all right there. That was Season 1 Version 1 update workbook. Might pull that down, I'm not sure. I'll go back and look at it. And here's the link to the new MU. Oh no, this is the Motec link here in case you need it too. All right, that's all. That's how you get started in Motec. Bradley Kistner, the intro engine is still running. Really? Oh, you know what? It was running when I was talking, huh, Bradley? You're right, because that's, yeah. It was running when I was talking. Okay, I get it. Thanks for the heads up, buddy. Okay, let's go see what we got here. I'm going to let's go here. So I've done some test laps this morning, and we'll kind of go over these a little bit here as we go. I'll try and go easy, and I'm not the smart guy Tom is, so I'm going to have to muddle through some of this. All right, this is the basic page. This has not changed at all. All right, and I'll give you an example. Here's my first test run I did, and I'll put the car down in the middle of the turn. To turn 2 mark right here is my point of reference, which is about 3550. It don't matter. 35, 34, 34, somewhere right there. Okay. Anyway, this page here has not changed at all. Or has this? Air temp, track temp, humidity, wind, direction. That stuff's in there. Note right here to you guys. Okay, so the air temp affects the horsepower of the motor. Track temp affects tire wear and tire heat. Okay. So if you're comparing apples to apples, oranges to oranges, and the guy says, what was your track temp? Oh, my track temp was 81. But the air temp was this. So it changes your horsepower. So big difference. Okay. So going across the top of the screen, ride heights have stayed the same. Switch histogram. Wheel spin is still the same. Got our engine dyno page. Let's go to the driver. This is astronomical. This is so huge, you guys. for your driver development. And you know, I think VRS maybe does this already. I had VRS a long time ago, and I really got into that with them. Um, so I think they're doing some of this. But what we're looking at here, you got the steering wheel here, and we don't want the steering wheel to exceed, what is it, 10 o'clock. Okay. The blue line on here is my G-force lateral G-force, I guess. Okay. And the green is my steering angle. All right. So as I move this back and forth across here, I never want this wheel to turn red. And it's a quick, easy check. You just go, and just see if it changes, see if it flickers at all. Whoops, whoops. If it doesn't flicker, you're good to go. Okay. Now, as we look at this, I'm going to show you an example later. The green line, if the green line gets too far below the blue line, that tells you the car is loose. Okay. If the green line gets too far above the blue line, like it tells you the car is tight. So right here, my steering angle is 38.6. Down here, all right, I'm at 5. Well, let's see. This is on the straightaway, isn't it? So I take us down into, let's say, you know what? Let's go turn entry. 30.2. Looks a little tight to me. Let's go to the exit of the turn. 21.1. So there, it looks like it's starting to get a little loose on exit. And it's coming out. But it's not severe. This is not a severe example. I'll show you something later. Okay. Diffuser stayed the same. The garage, I'm not sure if he added stuff to this or not, but here's our COG just as you can see it down here. Front to rear COG, left to right COG he has in here. Let's get to our COG page. This is COG, center of gravity, okay, which tells us how low the center of gravity is. We want it low into the back, okay, is where we want that. And if we go back to the garage, you see this is right here. I'm sitting pretty even right here. Actually, according to this, I'm sitting dead even, pretty close to it. -2, -2. Okay. Now I'm going to show you what that's going to be used for here in a second. Now, if you look at, now let's go back a little bit. So COG, center of gravity. If the car, let's see here. If the car has a lot of rake, okay, and they tell us that, you know, we've heard from quite a few people that you want, you know, a -1 rake. And what -1 rake does is it gets the COG to the rear of the car and is low in the back of the car. And they tell you to lower the back of the car as low as you can to the ground. Once it starts scraping, bring it up a little bit, and that's where your rake's going to start. So with that said, they're telling us there is that we want the COG low into the back. Okay. So here, let's see. Let's go to. Whoops, I'm sorry. I'm pushing buttons here. All right. So we want the COG low into the back. Now I'm going to go to. I don't think I want anything else on here for now. I didn't. All right. I'm going to give you some examples. Now this first one, right here, the red. This is my Iowa Race 4.0 Buster's Corner setup that I'd gotten from Kenny Coppola. This is one he threw away, and I scraped it up off his office floor and uncrinkled it and added a few things to it. I got it to work for us. So that's his setup. And as I look at this here, I'm in the COG screen. Springs, 39.96. Now, iRacing, I think, does a metric or something like that. So they round this off to a 4,000 pound spring. That's 4,000. That's 3,800 in the right front. This is my COG on that car throughout the track. Okay. I went in, and number 2 here, I'm going to go to the same lap 5 and lap 5. Okay. Now, the second set here, the white line, I took 1,000 pounds out of both front springs. Okay. What we found was that as the car was late in the run, that the front of my car was coming up more or disproportionate to the rear of the car, which is also going to give you a tight situation late in the run. Okay, and then you're finding a tight situation lap 25 to to 45 or 50. By lowering those front springs, look at my center of gravity. Look how low it is now, right? And give you an example of where we are right. Let's say right here. Where am I? Oh, right in the middle of turn one. My COG used to be, is this it right here? Am I doing it right? 13.7. With the loss of the front spring, it's now at 13.5. So I lost 0.2 COG on this car. Okay. Now, if I look at the lap times right here, and I have another thing I'll show you in a second. This was a 23.8. This was a 23.7 at that lap. That's my fastest lap for that run. They're both 5-lap runs. Huge difference, right? So look at here. So my spring, 39 to a 29, 38 to a 28. I didn't change the rears. I tried to return the ride heights back to original condition. And, well, actually, at this point of the thing, it's not a good example because this is a moving ride height. You have to do that in the garage. But anyway, the car was returned back to as normal as I possibly could get it. Now, let's take this one off. And the next one I'm going to show you, I took an additional 400 pounds out of the front springs. I took 1,400 pounds out of the front springs, and this is now my COG. Look at the huge difference we have here now. This is so much. I tell Tom my graph's not big enough, that my COG went down so low right here. It's not. So I think we see an update coming here at some point in time. I think he's going to do another release before the next season. He has some other things in the works, but I really wanted to get this one out to you guys because I thought it was really huge, and so did he. But look at this COG right here. 1373 to a 1358. Look at that. Lap time, 23.6. I went from a 23.8 to a 23.6. So not only are we seeing the COG being such a dramatic factor in this, that we see that I didn't have the right springs, did I? No, I did not. My springs were too big for this track. And I just, you build the car, it feels good, the tires are going good, you're not scraping the ground, you got a good negative rake, blah, 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 and so there you go. Now, let's take a look at the rake on this one. The red one was a 1.27. The new one is 1.05. Now, you can argue the point that with less rake, you have less resistance on the car and it's going to be faster. I agree. That's a good, fair statement. But I'm getting this because now my ride heights are the same, but those softer springs are letting the nose squat down and take some of that rake away. Remember, zero rake is faster than anything else you got, right? That's less resistance. That's the path of less resistance. Zero rake is like a dragster. That's the best you can. The least amount of rake you can run in this car, the better off you are. Okay. Now, I'm not buying into that BS where you need a minimum of 1 inch or you need a minimum of 3/4. You need a minimum. There is no minimum. Let's stop that. Let's put a stop to that. Let's get our COG down to the ground. Get this car down on the ground where it belongs, right? Race cars belong on the ground. It's not a 4-wheel drive, for crying out loud. So, but we need to know where our COG is and how to handle it. By referencing the COG, I'm debunking the whole theory on diffuser and diffuser volumes. I don't even look at this junk anymore. And I don't think we were ever supposed to. There was a time when Tom first came out with this that Matt Holman clearly said, don't worry about diffuser volume. It's junk. It's rubbish. Get the back of the car down to the ground. When it scrapes, bring it up a little bit. Give yourself a 1 inch rake, negative rake, and you'll be fast. Yeah, that's all BS. That was all BS thrown at us. COG is where it is. Okay, get the car down. And come on, this is typical. This is just normal racing thought, right? You guys, this isn't something new, right? Get the car down low to the ground. We need to compensate the car for the loss of fuel, is what they're doing to us. Loss of fuel, the back of the car comes up. All right. So, and with that in mind, If my front is too low on the long run, she'll get loose because the back's going to come up. I'm keeping the front down, right? But now the back's going to rise up on us at this point, and then the car will get loose because now we have a positive rake, and positive rake means a loose condition. So we'll work on that some more later. But for right now, this is huge. What's the next one I have? Okay, once I got all this going on, all right, then I said, well, wait a minute. Let me see. Um, Let me see here. Can I go to? I want to go to. I want to take you off. Oops. I want to take you off. Put you on right there. Okay. And this is before the next one. So, I lowered the springs. I went into my overview. Now remember, I'm keeping my ride heights all the same as I'm going through the spring process to get my COG lowered. So once I did that, what happens now with the front now not being quite so high, it actually raises up the back of the car because the car is on a, rotates on the rear axle. So then I said, wait a minute, can I now go in and lower these rear ride heights and get me closer to the ground? And I did. So this one here had a 47 and a 61. So when I lowered everything by one click all the way, I would have did one click all the way around, brought the car down. My rear ride heights really didn't change much at all, right? Because of the way it pivots across the back axle and you bring the nose up and down and then you know what I'm talking about. I'm not the engineer here. Okay, so I was able to do that because of the front end issue and bring the COG down. Now you see here, my fast lap was a 23.618, and so I got a little bit faster. All right. Now with that said, let me go and show you this right here. This is my 5-lap average. I'm just looking for ride heights. This is the stock setup 4.0, 24 zeros. I went to the 23.9. This is when I dropped the front springs by 1,000 pounds. Then I dropped another 400 pounds. I went to the 23.8. Okay. Then I lowered the ride heights that one click all the way around. I went to a 23.7. See what I'm talking about? That's what I'm talking about. Now, with all that in mind, we got the car lowered. We've lowered our rake a little bit. We've got our COG down, right, compared to our original setup. What's it going to do on a long run? Okay, so this stint here is 25 laps. All right, this was the stock setup, 4.0. All right, 24.45. This is the modified setup. We got the 23.7 with. Now I ran this more of a race condition. I wasn't trying to push it real hard out the gate, so I didn't go look for. I was looking for sixes off the bat. I was just kind of cruising through here. I probably could have done a better job on some of these, but at any rate, it's pretty comparable in my times. All right, and I'm gonna say I'm still winning because what was happening here is that this one here, like I said, the back was starting to come up. The car was starting to get loose on me, and I create a loose condition. So with all the changes I did, I need to go back and make other changes to the car to get it to balance out good, and I haven't done that yet. But with the times I'm seeing right there without any more modifications to that car, I'm happy with that. And this is a qualified run. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the COG part of this, I think. Let me see here. And let's this car back over and turn 2. All right, and I'm going to go to now the this first one. We'll go to lap 20. This first one is our new modified set, and lap 20 down here is the original set. Okay. So look at here, -8 and a -9. So I got less rake on the modified setup that we built. I got less rake. See, there's a 24.8 right here compared to a 24.9 here. Okay. So it is a better set. But let me go. And I probably would. I'm not proving it good right there. I can tell you that right now, because the set needed more adjustments to it than what I was doing to it. All right. So that's the COG screen. That's what I'm showing the COG screen. How much time do I got here? I'm in the 20 minutes so far. Okay. Um, so that's dynamic COG. It's awesome. And like I said, now that I got the COG down where it needs to be, I can make other adjustments to get this car dialed in better. So it still needs a little bit of work. And actually, as we bring that car down, it's really gonna. I think it's gonna affect our cambers too that we need to take another look at. Hey, Jack Walls, good to see you, buddy. Jack just signed on to the chat channel. Um, so just a quick just a quick overview, real quick. Okay, that's the original COG on the 4.0. After all of our modifications, that's where our COG went, lower, and lower is good. Okay, so that's our COG screen. Let's go off to our driver screen now, because this one is huge for our driver improvement. You know, one thing we got, an issue we have here at Buster's Corner, and it's a good issue to have, is as we become better builders, all right, we also need to develop better drivers, all right, because we have a lot of guys in the bottom split, second split. I think I'm second split, second, third. So, you know, 2, 3, 4. Anything below the top split. 2, 3, 4 split. That's me. I'm one of those guys. I'm in split 2 usually. Sometimes a split 3. Anywho, it includes me. Driver improvement. Now let's go back. Let's go to our driver screen. Okay. And let me see. I'm going to show you this. Let's go. Oh, I'm going to go this one right here, because this one here had it pretty good. Okay. This is lap 4, fastest lap, 23.7. And what we're looking at here is we're going to look at a couple things: throttle and brakes, and loose and tight. Okay. Now when you get, I was saying early on, you want these two lines to be pretty much close to each other, or have the green. I like to see the green line a little bit below the blue line. All right, that would give you a loose free condition. And over here you can see how my green line is down here. And look at my wheel here. Now where am I at here? I'm just coming up to the straightaway. It's actually starting to straighten the car out. And you can see I got very little wheel in this, and the car is on the looser side, free to loose side. All right, that's the good. I like that right there. That's real pretty. Ricky Thompson on the chat channel saying I just want to go fast. Okay, so, and I'm going to show you something. Okay, so as you're building your car, just run this through here and watch the steering wheel. If it ever clicks red, you got a problem. And you got to decide, is it a car problem or a driver problem? Now watch I go down here to lap 24. Okay. Look at my green line. It's all over the place now. Now this is the facet that got loose on me. All right. And you see the green line is way down here. I'm looking for a red steering wheel, and I'm not seeing one yet. Okay. Looks pretty good. And again, right here, we're loose on exit, or free on exit, if you will. Now this car did get loose on me. And actually, you can see it right here. Let me show you this right here. As you see the throttle numbers right here. So right up here, I could not get on that gas. I was on, off, on, off, on. And look here, coming out of this turn right here. Here, coming out of turn 2, I couldn't decide whether I was on gas or off gas. That's because that right rear was, the car got loose on me. I couldn't give it full throttle. In comparison to here. All right, this is a much cleaner. Oh, what did it right there? All right, now I want to show you, this is the other setup that I ran. And this one, you see my green line here? It's way above my blue line. Oh, right there. See it? We're past 10 o'clock. This car got tight on me. Even though it was faster than the other one, it still got tight on me. And you don't want to see this. And you got to decide, is this a car problem or is this a driver problem? The driver pinching it off? Usually if the driver's pinching it off, I think you'll see issues up here. Like if you get a, what do you call it, tight loose or push loose as they call it. And you can see here I couldn't get back under the throttle. Look at this, spiked way up and back down. And look at this spike over here. This is a mess over here. And this is lap 24. All right. Now this is I ran a qualifying lap real quick just to show you. See how the green is all the way underneath here almost all the time? All the way through. A little off right here. That's a loose condition, right? Your qualifying setup is usually pretty loose. And you can see the green lines underneath it all the time, all the way through here. That is a loose condition car, all right, compared to, let's go here. Trying to find it. Ah, here you go. See how the green line's above that blue line? Right there. That's a tight car right there. That's a tight car. Even though I do like the throttle points right here. It's got a nice little upgrade. So the other thing, and I didn't get time to run laps to try this, but see how right here, how my gas is dumping and my brakes, I'm hard on the brakes right here, right? I do the same thing over here, right there. See that split? Boom, dump the gas, hard on the brakes. And I think somebody mentioned that to me one time. I was doing that wrong. That should probably be a little better of a transition if you can. All right. So I think that's about all I got for you guys. Let me see here. Let's see here, my notes. My notes, let's see, drivers. I'm trying to see if I got anything else. This was the stock set. Oh, look at this over here. Oh, look at that. So this was the stock set lap 5. Looks like I overdrove it, huh? Where am I? I'm coming up at turn 2, and I probably get too. Now, see, in a case like this, the driver may have, in this case me, may have let the car drift up too close to the wall, right? And then had to jerk that wheel back down to get me up out of the wall. And that's probably what it was. I probably pushed it too hard and jerked the wheel back down. And so that's where you're going to say, that's on me. And the way you know that is what did the guy do on the previous lap? Much better. Steering wheel 38.5, 38.5, 35.7, 37.8. So there you can see, there's that right there. So if you share your data with us on let's say you go and share your data and say, Bob, your setup's too tight. I'm going to say, really? Show me your driver screen. Show me a couple laps from your driver screen. Let me see what's going on. All right. And you know, if you're going to do me a screen print of where your red thing is, I also want to see, you know, maybe this one right here too. I want to see a couple next to each other. All right, or maybe every other one. Okay, and say okay, see, you're good here. Jack Walls, you're at 38.5. Your steering wheel is blue. Your two lines here are pretty close to each other. Yeah, I'll give you a little tight. All right, I'll give you a little tight. And then let's move the car around. Watch this. You put it right here. See how my green line is below my blue line? My wheel's at 7.1. I'm going to come up out of the turn. We can see it down here. But that's beautiful right there, right? That's a good run right there. But you can also tell, I'm trying to get to, and I don't have it in this one right here. You know what, who should have it? This one right here should have it, where I started getting real loose. All right. This is, you know, that looks pretty good too right there. And actually that loose condition was very drivable that I got myself into. And when you're running by yourself on practice laps, you have a tendency to overdrive the right rear tire. But I bet you in a pack, this one drives really good. So also with this screen, a couple of them, let's see here. By changing the steering pinion, right? Here's a 287. And here's a good test for you. So you could take, Philip Henry loves that the low side, was it the 108s and the 106, whatever it is. And I'm more of a 287 guy myself, maybe 260, 280. Try different pinion gears. All right. That's what this also does for you. Try different pinion gear. Try that low one. Try the high one, and see and run the same laps. You know, run 5 laps the same with different pinion gears, and see how this screen changes for you. Maybe you're too late on the entry. Maybe you're late on the entry, right? Maybe at the 106, you're late on the entry. You get up at the top of the wall and you got to jerk the car back down because you're late on your steering. Maybe you're pushing on entrance because your steering is too fast. Okay, there you go. That's something you can find out right here with this. The other thing I like, here's the straightaway. Put this thing right in the middle of the straightaway, and look where your steering wheel's at. You're negative 3.5. You're holding that steering wheel to the right to keep the car straight. All right. So you may want to go with less on this right here. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? This one's already got built in -6. So maybe it should be -8. Yeah. There's the analyzer. Okay. Just go back to where I was here. Okay. What else do we see? Tom can probably show you all kinds of cool stuff with this. I was trying to find one because I thought one of these laps I got pretty hairy loose on. But being the excellent driver I am, it looks like I fixed it. See, that looks really good right there. See how the two mesh? The two are meshing, intertwined with each other. I'm okay with that. Right? Just scroll across here. Watch the steering wheel on the left. Any kind of red blimping is what I'm looking for. I'm not. And actually, I do like the green below the. I do like the green below the blue. All right. Okay, I don't see any. See right here we're loose. That's a good lap. Look at this. So brakes are coming in, dragging the brakes a little bit on throttle, pretty much straight up right through here. Now I know, and Tom will tell you, we don't always get 100% data for every second that you're on the track. Sometimes the packets don't come through right, and you do miss some once in a while. So we're looking for averages here. But I like how the throttle came up on this one right here. We're at turn 1, so I caught that turn just right. Oh, you know what that is right there? That's the bump in turn 1, isn't it, you guys? See there? The bump got there and it jiggled my throttle. And back on it. That was nice and smooth. This one's not too bad either. At least for me. What do I know? Okay, I think that's about it, guys. We covered the COG screen, which is freaking awesome. And the COG, you know what? The biggest thing I'm going to get out of the COG screen is deciding what springs to run. That's it. You know, typically I'll start off with the 3500s across the front and kind of work it out from there. And they say, well, I'm gonna go with 4,000 in right, left front, 4,000 right rear. We'll kind of build it around that. That's the other thing too, is guys have a tendency to throw springs in there, throw cambers in there, and so I'm just gonna build it around that. Well, you need to go back to your Motec and say, is that the best answer? And had I played with those springs some more and saw this COG thing going on, I would have known. Because if you go through, here's the hardest part. Let's take a Auto Club for example. 2 mile track, I think, isn't it? I said, okay, I got 3,500 pound springs across the front. I'm gonna go run a few laps, and it's a long track, and it gets long, boring, and I got other stuff to do. I don't have time to keep saying, okay, I changed this, I dropped the strings by 200 pounds. The time's about the close. It's pretty close. It's about the same. Not a big change. Let's go change the camber. Oh, that made things work better. And then you forget about the springs. Go work chasing camber issues. With COG, you know in 2 laps whether you change your COG, right? And if we know lower COG is a faster car. So if I can get the COG down low as I can just with my springs, right? Now I can go play with everything else and get the car to turn better, get it to rotate better, get the air pressure where I want them, get the cambers, get the tire wear where you want them, stuff like that, knowing that my springs are set to the best COG I can get. Ta-da! That Tom, he's brilliant. That's all I got, guys. Everything else on here has stayed the same, I believe. Notes, tire temps. Oh wait, this one's. Oh, I think it says new, isn't it, Tom? Yes. Okay. So what he's got here, I didn't see this. I thought he was saving this for the next one. So let's see. Let's go to lap 24. All right. So let me see. Which stint are we on? Which guy are we on? I want. Yeah, right there. That's the loose setup that I ran. Okay. And we can go down here to the tires are hot. Oh, you know what I want, Tom? I want the steering wheel on here. I like that cheat sheet thing I had. But actually, can't we go to um, driver? No, I want this one. It was tight. This one tight. Oh, there it is, right there. If we take that and then go to tires right here. That's not showing me what I want to see. I'm chasing a ghost here. But you put this down here where the tires are hottest right here, you get some idea. Well, the car looked pretty neutral right there. All right, so that's a new screen too. Notes, worksheet. You know what that's for. Tires, shocks. I think this stayed the same. Right. If you see red, you need to increase your slope. Shocks, slip and spin. That's always a good one too. Front slip. This is front slip angle. And this is steer angle versus where the steering wheel's at. I don't use that one much, but it's good stuff. Okay, spin. Suspension details. Oops. Yeah, this is the engineering stuff. I don't use any of this stuff. I mean, you're supposed to be able to define, okay, you should be able to define like this right here. And Tom has showed this to me a million times. So we're not catching this and we're not catching this, so we need to adjust our shocks. So these two become more even like this right here. So this doesn't look too bad. All right, guys, I think that's it. Chin. So driver page, COG. That's the hottest thing we got. Okay, guys, I'm out. I'm gonna wait just a couple of seconds. If anybody on the chat channel has a question, I'm not sure what the delay is on this. It's probably quite long, but we're at 38 minutes now, so let's get out of here. You can put questions up in the Discord into Tom's stuff. Actually, your questions go. Stalling now. Questions actually go not there. They actually go admin questions. Okay, that's where the questions go. I've locked all this stuff out so people can't write in here no more, so it's easier to find stuff. So if you have questions about any of the stuff up in here, it goes in your admin questions. All right, that's it from here. Okay, guys, so the links are down below to the Discord. If you'd like to donate to the server fund to help us do practice runs and stuff like that in our races, we do appreciate that. If you want to throw a buck in the kitty to help the server time, we appreciate it. All the other links are down below. Please subscribe. Please join. Come join the Discord channel. It's a whole lot of fun. If you just want to talk about next gen, we're the place to be. If you want to see what's going on with next gen, we're the place to be. We're the best game inside the game. All right, guys. Have a good day. We're out.